Sometimes living with CF and you're talking to somebody who doesn't know anything about it, sometimes we will say, don't Google it.
So you gotta breathe, 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 breathe. Let it go and let it be.
Hey guys.
Morning.
Good morning. And are you ready for today's video?
We are going to, are you ready?
That reminds me of when we sat down, when we filmed. Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about?
When we were in the downstairs apartment.
Okay.
And we set the camera up on like a stack of pears. And we were filming like our first ever sit down video. And we started filming and I was like, scratch that. Like, I don't know. I said something weird.
It was
kind of like I just said something weird, like welcome to the video or whatever.
We're ready. I don't know. We are ready because we have our palm tree. Apparently it's part of our video. So.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I was doing some yoga downstairs and I was laying under it and looking up and they were just arching over me. It was so peaceful. But that has nothing to do with this video. Here's the question.
Is it offensive to you if somebody without CF wants to learn more about it?
For me, it's actually the exact opposite. I feel really honored and respected in a way if somebody shows interest in learning more about what I'm living with. I guess there is that one pushback that I often hear, which is sometimes living with CF and you're talking to somebody who doesn't know anything about it, sometimes we will say, don't Google it.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. I think there's a level of the desire for people, we want people to ask questions about CF. We love, I mean, part of the Frey Life and what we do here on the internet is communicating to people who don't know anything about CF, and we want people to be interested in it. But
the danger of, I don't think I've ever said like don't Google it, but I think the danger why some people say that is you might Google it and get like a really outdated web page or something like that. I'll often send people to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's page on like what is cystic fibrosis, because it's kind of a distinct layout of like boom, boom, boom. But
I usually send people to Mary's video called What is Cystic Fibrosis, but you know.
Shameless plug.
I'm just saying, I think for, kind of speaking for both of us, whenever we meet people who have found our videos, or when we meet people and we know that they watch the Frey Life, we always ask, how did you find our videos? And often the answer that we get is, I knew something about cystic fibrosis, so I searched for it, and your videos came up. So in many ways, I'm not afraid of the Googling of cystic fibrosis, because that's how a lot of you guys have found our videos, because you know, you maybe often people hear about it first in biology or like the genetics section, because it's kind of a case in point of whenever you're studying the passing of recessive traits, you know, and recessive genes, you know, all of that. But people, for a lot of people, that's like what they know about it, and so we want people to be interested in learning more.
Yeah, and I mean, when I first meet somebody, say it's somebody on an airplane, okay? Say I've got a mask on, I've got oxygen on, and I'm coughing my brains out, and somebody's like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine, it's not contagious, I have cystic fibrosis. I'm fine with telling them that because they probably are scared that I have like horrible contagious pneumonia or something. So anyway, when I say that and then they're like, oh, interesting. Well, I usually ask, have you ever heard of cystic fibrosis? Do you know anything about it? And that gives them the freedom to say, no, I've never heard of it. And I then tell them more about it. So if they're interested to hear more, I really am like honored. I'm like, hey, they could have just said, I don't know, turn their back to me or something. I don't know. But I really am interested, or I'm thankful when people are interested. And to think about 250,000 people who have pushed the subscribe button, not all 250,000 come along on our daily adventures with us, but 250,000 people were willing to say, hey, that's kind of interesting, or I'd like to learn more about that, or I know somebody with CF and I didn't realize it could look different in everybody's life, or whatever. And
I think that that's probably something about Mary, that she loves sharing about her CF and what her journey is. I know some CF patients are more private about their personal journey, and they'd rather, you know, not talk about CF, and Mary has times where she's just like, I just want to talk about other stuff, and or say if she's in that public setting, say on an airplane or something, and she's just not feeling well, and somebody were asked, well, what is cystic fibrosis? I mean, sometimes there's just like not that energy to be able to spend the time talking about it, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't want people to be interested in it.
And in that case, I usually will say, oh, feel free to check out our videos online. We talk all about it if you want to learn more. You know, like there's always a way to still educate, but not spend all the energy. But anyway, interesting question.
I do think of one setting where it is offensive.
Uh-oh. Oh no, what is it?
It's when all the baby doctors come in and want to learn about cystic fibrosis. I'm just kidding.
So what he means by baby doctors is people who are studying, so maybe they are fellows, interns, residents at teaching hospitals. It's part of their learning that they come into patient rooms. And sometimes in the process of learning, as we all do, sometimes as we learn, we ask stupid questions. Some might say there is no such thing as a stupid question, right? I disagree. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But it's just this thing where, like, one time somebody came in and said, how's your cystic fibrosis doing? I was in the hospital, so I wasn't doing well. And that's a very odd question.
Like she's just like, how do I answer that? Like, how's your cystic fibrosis? But I think what I was hinting at is sometimes there's the same questions that people ask, like different ranks of people will ask the same questions over and over. But all that being said, Mary is actually a big advocate of the baby doctors coming in and wanting to learn and wanting to listen and not just go through the questions, but being like actually genuinely interested in learning about cystic fibrosis. Or, I mean, I guess learning about patient perspective with cystic fibrosis and that sort of thing. So,
I was gonna say that.
You were gonna say that.
Our brains are like the same.
Same thing.
Alright guys, thanks for that question.
And thanks for watching, and as always, we will see you tomorrow.
Good night.
And good night to the Ollie boy. Just organizing Mary's drugs and stuff. I'm just going to sleep.